Jurgen Klopp must address Liverpool midfield question as Florian Neuhaus transfer links return. Liverpool were linked with Florian Neuhaus for much of the summer. With FSG planning a transfer refresh, Jurgen Klopp must answer a critical midfield question. Jurgen Klopp will oversee the construction of the next-generation Liverpool team. That much seems clear. Whether the German will be around to see the full fruits of this labor is less certain. But his group of established stars are coming to an age where new blood has to be brought in. The word from FSG is that this process will begin in earnest next summer. Florian Neuhaus is one player who has been persistently linked with a transfer, and rumors have surfaced again recently. But Klopp has to weigh up his positional priorities before ploughing ahead with transfer plans. The links to Neuhaus were strongest early in the summer. When the departure of Georginio Wijnaldum led to an assumption that a replacement would be signed. This obviously did not happen. Ironically, the ones most horrified by this were the very same people who had spent months criticizing Wijnaldum for a perceived lack of impact on games. But there is a certain breed of fan who just like to be annoyed. Nonetheless, there were valid reasons to be concerned that such a regular starter had not been replaced in the transfer market. Many of these concerns were forgotten as the campaign got underway. With the emergence of Harvey Elliott as a midfield option lessening the fears about being short-staffed in the middle. Naby Keita also started the season in fine form. However, Elliott is now out for months, and Keita gave a timely reminder of his one major downside when he managed to get injured by kicking the turf. The midfield Klopp named against Porto essentially picked itself. Even so early on in the season, that particular department is down to the bare bones. Clearly, then, an extra body might be handy. However, Elliott will not be out forever. And Curtis Jones has recently given everyone a reminder of his quality. Aged 18 and 20 respectively, they could well be the future of the Liverpool midfield. In the holding role behind them, Fabinho is still only 27, so there is no pressing need to refresh that position within the team. Adding another promising young midfielder like Neuhaus, aged 24, into the mix has the potential to disrupt the progress of Elliott and Jones. That's no reason not to sign him, as over a long season it is inevitable that all three would get minutes. Just look at the enforced rotation already in this campaign. Anyway, there is not really any such thing as too many talented young players. However, it does raise the question of priorities. With two such potentially generational midfielders already at Liverpool, and a defensive midfielder with plenty of seasons left in the tank. Does it really make sense to allocate major transfer funds to the midfield? Instead of Neuhaus, or indeed anyone else of his ilk, Klopp should arguably be looking to replicate the success of the James Milner transfer. Signed on a free with a wealth of experience, he has proved invaluable with his ability to plug gaps all over the park. This includes his native midfield position, where he invariably produces a colossal shift. But he proved as recently as last night that he can serve as a makeshift fullback with distinction too. Of course, saying, "Go out and sign another Milner," makes things seem far simpler than they really are. Such consummate professionals and talented footballers are not ten a penny. However, the general point stands. Even if a free transfer for competent backup did not pan out quite as successfully as Milner. It would provide an extra safeguard in the event of midfield injuries, and save money for investment elsewhere. Such investment from FSG is much more sorely needed in the front three. Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane are all 29. They still have plenty of fuel left in the tank, but unlike in the midfield there are no obvious natural heirs coming through. There is Diogo Jota, who at 24 looks well primed to take one of the slots, but the other two positions have no such protégé. Names like Ismaila Sarr and Jeremy Doku have been thrown around, and would fill the void perfectly, but will not come cheap. If it is a case of either, or, then this is where the money needs to be spent. Klopp may well be infatuated with Florian Neuhaus, who is by all accounts a very good young midfielder. But the manager must be smart with his priorities as he shapes the Liverpool team of the future.